Today's show is sponsored by the Electric Vehicle Association. Join up to support the electrification of transport and get the help you need to finance your own EV or clean energy future. And by UGears. Give the gift of fully functioning wooden mechanical models to inspire, educate and entertain your loved ones this holiday season. And by Energy Sage. Visit the link in the description to find local, verified solar installers and community solar projects in your area that will help you power your home and your car with clean, green, renewable energy. Welcome back to TEN, or Transport Evolved News. It has been a very busy week in the world of clean cars and energy, and I have 42 stories to get through, so let's do this. Tesla released its official third quarter figures at the close of business local time on Wednesday, setting new records across the board. Tesla set a new quarterly production record of 365,923 cars, as well as set a new delivery quarter record of 343,830 vehicles. This, combined with a massive increase in deployed energy storage, nearly double that of last quarter, gave Tesla its best revenue to date of $21.5 billion and an adjusted earnings per share of $1.05. While the earnings beat expectations, revenue fell short by $500 million, something which did affect Tesla's share price during trading on Thursday. More is coming from Tesla's quarterly earnings call, so keep your ears peeled later in the show. If you've been in the market for a new-to-you electric car this year, and many of you have reached out to tell us just that, you'll know that used EV prices have been very high of late. But EV sales data analysed by specialist firm Recurrent Auto shows that, for the US at least, used electric vehicle prices are beginning to stabilise. Tracking values of 2017 through 2019 electric cars like the Chevy Bolt EV, BMW i3, Tesla Model S and more, Recurrent's in-house price index shows that there's a general softening in used EV prices. While prices are falling, just as used internal combustion engine car sale prices are falling, the rate of decline in used car prices is slower for EVs than ICE vehicles. With the new US federal tax credits, including incentives for used EVs, expected demand for used EVs to remain higher than in previous years. It was the Paris Motor Show this week, and at it we saw plenty of new cars debut, including the new Mercedes-Benz EQE SUV and AMG EQE SUV. As the name suggests, both vehicles, one regular and one given a sportier tune, are SUV variants of the recently launched EQE sedan, and with a little more inside room for passengers and their luggage. But unlike the EQS SUV, which has an extra row of seats over the EQS, the EQE SUV is, like the EQE sedan, a 5-seater. With over 30 pages of press material for these vehicles alone, I can't go into everything detailed, but I do know that it will be offered in rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive configuration, come with plug-and-charge, 170 kilowatt DC quick charge capabilities, and a very high-end price tag. As for the AMG variant, well, it'll offer up to 677 horsepower. Elon Musk was present at this week's third quarter earnings call for Tesla, and as a consequence, we learned a lot about the future plans the company has for products and software. And during the call, Elon Musk dropped the bombshell that Tesla won't be getting regulatory approval for its full self-driving software before the end of this year, meaning it'll be next year at the earliest before it can flip the switch on FSD and take it out of beta. While it's bound to disappoint owners and fans alike who had hoped Tesla would be able to jump through those regulatory hoops and make Elon's promise come true, those who've been following autonomous vehicle regulations will be able to tell you that, right now in the US at least, there's not a real framework for defining autonomous vehicle operation. For now then, I think level 2 is about all I think we'll get. The rest is still tied up in red tape. At the Paris Motor Show this week, Stellantis showed its first ever all-electric Jeep in the form of the Jeep Avenger, a two-wheel drive B-segment crossover, that's subcompact. While the design is unmistakably Jeep, complete with flared wheel arches, decent ground clearance, off-road modes, and Jeep family grille, the spec sheets aren't very impressive, especially for a car that will launch as a European market 2024 model year vehicle. With 115 kilowatt motor, powered by a 54 kilowatt hour pack, Stellantis says the Jeep Avenger will manage 400 kilometers, 249 miles on the combined WLTP cycle. vehicle. Real-world figures will be about 80% of that. Jeep also unveiled a concept all-wheel drive electric Avenger, but said nothing of its specifications, at least not yet. While the European auto industry was all in Paris this week, GMC surprised everyone by revealing a new electric vehicle for the US market, the Sierra EV Denali. Built on the same platform as the Hummer EV and the Chevrolet Silverado EV, the GMC Sierra EV Denali is an all-electric pickup truck that's designed to appeal to luxury truck buyers who don't want an over-the-top machismo vehicle that's found in the Hummer EV or the weekend outdoorsy vibes of the Silverado EV. Thanks to the Ultium platform, it has 800-volt battery technology, up to 350 kilowatts DC quick charging, and all-wheel steering. That does include crab mode, as well as 400 miles, 640 kilometers of range per charge. GMC also promises that you could run your home for at least 20 days off the truck, but that feels like a stretch. Pricing hasn't been released, but as it's a Denali, it will be expensive. For a long time, Tesla talked up the idea of making affordable $25,000 cars for the masses. But in recent years, that idea has taken a backseat, replaced instead by pursuit of robo-taxis, ramping up Model Y production, and more recently, Optimus. But during Wednesday's earnings call, Elon Musk announced that the engineering team at Tesla are now starting work on a next-generation electric car platform that he says will cost about half the price of the current Model 3 and Model Y platform to make. This vehicle, he said, would make it possible to build smaller-sized vehicles, resulting in a more affordable price tag for customers, since the next-generation platform being promised would cost a lot less to produce. I would love to see a more affordable Tesla come to market, but history doesn't bode well when it comes to Tesla delivering on its low-cost car promises. Kia has officially priced its mid-cycle refresh of the Kia Niro EV for the US market, and while the vehicle gets some welcome tweaks, its sticker price is a bit high. The entry-level Kia Niro EV Wind starts at $40,745, which includes $1,295 of destination charges and fees, and features 17-inch alloy wheels, automatic LED headlights, heated mirror, automatic wipers, privacy glass, and a power liftgate. Meanwhile, the more expensive Wave trim adds fancier headlights with fog lights, power folding mirrors, sunroof, and power-adjustable passenger seat, plus heated steering wheel and vehicle-to-load inverter. It commands a starting price of $45,745, again with delivery charges and fees included. But the big issue here is the fact that the Chevrolet Bolt EUV costs far less. That said, I would argue that the Niro EV is a far better car. At the Paris Motor Show this week, Renault showcased its latest concept vehicle in the form of the Renault Forever Trophy, a modern, electrified take on the original iconic Renault 4 that previews a production Renault 4 SUV sometime in 2025. While the stand had plenty of EVs on it, Renault CEO Luca de Meo appeared cautious about the progress being made in the EV industry, commenting that he doesn't believe electric vehicles and internal combustion engine vehicles will reach cost parity anytime soon. He cites rising prices for raw materials used in EV battery packs, not to mention ongoing parts shortages. While the industry had predicted that the cost per kilowatt hour for most battery packs would fall by $100 within 5 years, that hasn't happened across the board yet. I hope he's wrong, though, because time is running out for that particular transition. Looping back to Tesla's quarterly earnings, another big piece of news from the earnings call, and look, there's plenty that we don't have time to cover today, was the fact that Tesla is aiming to produce 50,000 Tesla semis per year as early as 2024. If Tesla manages it, it would leapfrog much of the big rig competition, as many mainstream truck companies making electric trucks are producing a fraction of that number at current time. While Tesla had originally planned to use 4680 form factor cells, that apparently isn't the case, Musk confirmed during the call, at least for now. Tesla Semi isn't using those new battery cells. If I guess, it probably means that Tesla is using 2170 cells instead, which in turn would allow it to make more trucks. That said, I do expect those cells to be switched over to 4680 at some point in the not too distant future. Short shorts are on the way in a second, but first, a word from one of today's video sponsors, UGears. UGears combines everything you remember from the engineering toys you may have played with as a child, with the beauty of wooden parts, the accuracy of laser-cut pieces, and the joy of ingenious, fully functioning mechanical models. UGears offers a wide range of beautiful, fully functional 3D models that you can assemble yourself at home with no prior experience, using clear, easy-to-follow instructions right there in the accompanying beautifully made assembly book. There's no glue needed to assemble the parts, and you get everything you need inside the box to make your own model, ranging from simple creations suitable for ages 5 and up, all the way through to incredibly detailed, fully functioning engineering models. The plywood used meets all international safety standards, and there's something for everyone, ranging from working clocks through to musical instruments, and my favourite this year, the pickup lumberjack, which is based on the iconic Chevy 3100. We have teamed up with UGears, and we'd love you to check out its website, where you'll find a whole host of amazing, realistic mechanical models and kinetic sculptures. Right now, shipping on all orders of $50 or above is free, and if you buy one of UGears' amazing kits, you'll not only be getting a great gift, but you'll be supporting a Ukrainian business that's managed to keep creating and inspiring throughout the illegal Russian invasion. Prices start from just $10 and work all the way up from there, so check out the link below to pick yours. Full disclaimer, we are working on a commission on this one, so if you do follow the link and buy a kit, we will get something in return. And now, it's time for Short Shorts. Rolls-Royce has finally unveiled its first production electric car in the form of the Rolls-Royce Specter. Featuring all of the things that you'd expect from a high-end Rolls, this model has 2 suicide front doors and 2+2 seating. It is obscenely opulent. More down to earth, the Hon Hai Technology Group, known to most in the West as Foxconn, unveiled 2 new prototype EVs this week at its Technology Day, the Model B crossover and a Model V electric pickup truck. It also unveiled its production version of its Model C sedan. Sales figures from India show that electric vehicle sales are soaring this year, with both electric cars and electric motorcycle sales growing far more dramatically than in previous years. While EVs still represent a tiny fraction of overall vehicle sales, indications are that this will soon change. Carlos Tavares, CEO of the Stellantis Group, told journalists at the Paris Motor Show this week that EU needs to increase import taxes on Chinese-made cars. Right now, European automakers pay higher tariffs to import their cars to China than Chinese companies do the other way around. Anonymous sources say the Indian Army intends to replace 25% of its light vehicles, 38% of its buses, and 48% of its motorcycles with electric equivalents in an effort to lower operating costs and the carbon footprint of the Indian Army. The Africa Energy Indaba has announced that it intends to debut a brand new electric vehicle conference designed to help encourage the EV transition of Africans, as well as support the global EV industry. It will be held on March 9th next year in Cape Town, South Africa. New figures released this week state that EVs now represent 3.39% of all new car sales in Australia. That's far lower than in many other automotive markets. This is unfortunately exacerbated by automakers limiting EV stock availability for Australians and pushing it to other markets instead. South Africa is mired in a disagreement with the United Nations over how some of the $8.5 billion climate aid package set aside for it to replace its coal-fired power stations with renewable energy should actually be spent. It wants to set up a South African subsidy program for EV production, but the UN wants it to go renewable first. Hyundai has unexpectedly cancelled its hydrogen fuel cell truck program in Switzerland, cancelling plans to roll out more hydrogen fuel cell Exient trucks. 47 trucks already on the road will continue to operate, but no more trucks will be put on the roads of Switzerland. Waymo has confirmed that it will expand its robotaxi service to Los Angeles next year, with a new video this week confirming that it will soon welcome trusted testers in LA to ride in its vehicles. LA will be Waymo's toughest gig yet, so watch this space for updates as they occur. Mullen Automotive has completed its purchase of what remains of the former commercial vehicle manufacturer ELMS. It's acquired inventory, manufacturing plant and IP in a cash deal whose value, like its recent acquisition of Bollinger, has not yet been disclosed. The US administration has announced that $2.8 billion of federal grants have been awarded to 20 different companies in 12 different US states to help accelerate US-made battery packs for use in US-manufactured electric vehicles. Electrify America has officially turned on its first ever megawatt-level energy storage system at its massive charging plaza in Baker, California. There are a total of 12 rapid DC quick charging stations on site, as well as a 3 megawatt-hour battery storage system that can provide up to 1.5 megawatts of instantaneous power. Tesla has kept its promise to let customers vote on future supercharger sites, with stage 1 of its voting now live online. Customers can vote for current proposed locations and will shortly also be able to suggest new locations for the next voting cycle. Battery firm Nanograph is claiming a new industry benchmark for lithium-ion 18650 form factor cells. The company says it's now produced a 4.3 amp-hour cell capable of storing an incredible 810 watt-hours of electricity per litre. Indie EV, the company behind the Indy 1, a car that features a full PC-level gaming graphics system in its infotainment alone, has signed an MOU with Foxconn to produce a prototype Indy 1 at Foxconn's Ohio factory, but I remain doubtful of it ever reaching series production. Cadillac has drip-fed more information about the handmade Celestiq EV, a car that it intends to produce in limited numbers as the company's new flagship electric sedan. With prices starting in excess of $300,000, forget about affordable. Tesla has released an app update to help Tesla Model 3 and Model Y customers gain entry to their cars in cold weather. The new smartphone app update features a remote unlatch command to help pop doors open if handles are frozen in place. An electric modular aircraft made by students at ETH Zurich in Switzerland has taken to the skies for the first time in a successful test flight. This 4-seat plane is different because it features a modular battery system, allowing for larger or smaller packs as needed. The European market Lexus UX 300e has been given a big refresh for the 2023 model year, gaining almost 84 miles, 135 kilometers on the WLTP test cycle thanks to a newer, larger capacity battery pack. Ahead of winter in the Northern Hemisphere, Kia has announced a software update for the EV6 that will improve cold weather charging speeds. It's an upgrade to the battery preconditioning function, but in order to get it, you'll have to visit a dealership for the software upgrade because no OTA. In August, NHTSA began investigating 2 fatal collisions involving Teslas operating in autopilot mode and motorcycles. Now it's added a 3rd fatal collision to the list. Autopilot vision is a suspect, and if you haven't already, you should watch the excellent Fortnite video on the topic, which we'll link to below. General Motors is considering bringing a smaller version of its Hummer EV to market. Automotive News reported this week that it already has a design concept proposal in its design studio, and according to sources, the likelihood of it reaching production is very high indeed. Jaguar's I-Pace sales have not been particularly strong this year, but during the 3rd quarter, the British marque reported it sold just under 2,000 I-Pace cars globally. That is abysmal and mirrors Jaguar Land Rover's total sales decline over the same period. While BYD is currently in the process of launching 3 new electric vehicles in Europe, company executives suggest it may also launch 2 more in the form of the BYD Seal and BYD Dolphin. While there's no firm plans in Europe yet, BYD could totally clean up in the affordable segment if it does. Charin, the global charging standards group, has officially launched the megawatt charging system in North America. The first MCS charging station was switched on at the Electric Island Charging Complex in Portland, Oregon, so we're hoping to get a look very soon. Following the passing of the US Inflation Reduction Act and associated new EV incentives, Fisker has confirmed that it's accelerating its plans to look for a US production facility where it will make the Fisker Ocean. When it does, it would make its cars eligible for those tax rebates. Canoo continued to rake in orders for its electric minivan this week, with King Bee placing a binding order for 9,300 Canoo delivery vehicles. The vans will be upfitted to become work-ready fleet vehicles for the King Bee customers based across the US. Lincoln is asking its dealerships across the US to invest upwards of $900,000 on DC quick charging and other infrastructure upgrades in order to become fully certified to sell future Lincoln EVs. Dealerships will have until December to decide if they're in or out. BMW announced midweek that it would be investing $1.7 billion into its Greer, South Carolina facility in order to build 6 new electric models there by 2030. This includes building a new battery factory in collaboration with Envision AESC. Automakers are reaching out to the US federal government to ask it to give them more time to satisfy US minerals requirements that must be satisfied in the future for EVs to be eligible for tax incentives. Automakers say the current target dates are difficult to achieve given current long-term battery supply contracts. And those are your shorts. There will be more next week. Our final 2 stories are dropping in just a moment, but first, another reminder to keep your eyes peeled for our upcoming Genesis GV60 drive review. Yes, I know I gave you this trailer last week, and the walk around did drop this week. Link below if you haven't seen it, but this one is too good not to share twice. Unless you've been hiding in a cave for the last few months, I think it is impossible not to know that politics in the UK have been a little screwed up of late. The actions of the current government and the just-resigned Prime Minister Truss, who this week broke a new record for being the shortest-term PM in history, has caused the UK economy to go into freefall, which, when you combine with Brexit, means companies are fleeing. This week, Mini confirmed it would be ceasing production of the all-electric Mini models in the UK, choosing instead to shift production to both Germany and China. The reasons? Well, while BMW executives were diplomatic about the move, stating the company felt the original Cowley plant, where the very first Morris Minis were made, isn't geared up for electric vehicles, I cannot help but think that the actions of the UK government are to blame. What say you? And finally, at CES 2020, Kate Walton-Elliott and I got to see the Manta 5 XE1, a hydrofoil electric human hybrid that was unlike anything that we'd seen before. And Kate got to try it because I fell off a stage and I wasn't in a safe place to ride. She also fell off a fair few times. Now, the Kiwi company behind it has unveiled a brand new model, the SL3. Based on the same technology, this variant features a throttle like many electric bicycles do, which means the hardest part about getting going, is a lot easier because you can use the throttle to give you a little boost up out of the water. Manta 5 says the learning curve for this new model is about 40 minutes versus 3 hours for its predecessor, and frankly, I am super keen to give this a go. Just don't expect this to be electric bicycle cheap because the previous model was about $8,000. But when you compare that to, say, a jet ski, that is super affordable and a lot better for your overall health and fitness. And on that note, we are done for the day. Before I go, though, a huge thank you to the Electric Vehicle Association for sponsoring today's show. They have been advocating for electric vehicles since 1967 and firmly believe that our future depends on us making the switch to clean, green electric cars today. The EVA can help you find someone near to you that can help you make the switch to electric. It can help you become an EV educator, and it can point you in the direction of monthly meetups for like-minded EV fans. And if you become a member, you'll gain access to a clean energy and EV loan program set up between the EVA and the Colorado Clean Energy Credit Union. So find out more by heading to electricauto.org. Thanks also go out to UGears. Please give them a check out. They are fantastic wooden models and they are perfect for the holiday season. And frankly, the holiday shopping season is here. So give them a go. And finally, thanks to Energy Sage. Follow the link below to find out how easy it can be to get a verified, trustworthy solar expert to help you make the switch towards energy self-sufficiency, either with solar on your home or through a local community solar project. Don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell for this channel and for our second channel, Transport Evolved Take 2. And in the addition of becoming a Patreon supporter or YouTube member, links below, you can tip us through Ko-fi or check out our cool swag store. And if you did like what you saw today, why not consider adding a super thanks to your comments? It is super easy to do, and it all goes towards helping the channel grow. I'll be back this time next week for another news roundup, but as always, there's plenty of cool content for you to enjoy during the week. I've seen it all, and it is epic. And if you like things off the beaten track, why not hop over to Transport Evolved Take 2 tomorrow for our Sunday musing, as well as checking up on the chickens in the garden. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about the rain and the gutter cleaning that we've been doing, as well as talking about building home energy battery packs from old EV batteries. Let us know what you think, because we are very excited about it. Whatever you enjoy next though, I hope your weekend is a great one, and as always, keep evolving.